Welcome back to the Questions About Life podcast. I am Brian Fleming.
And I'm Daniel Broome.
Today we're going to talk about the question, how do I make money without a job? There are a lot of people who hate their jobs.
I think most people hate their jobs.
And if you could give your boss the middle finger and walk out and have the financial power to do that, I know a lot of you listening would probably do that. And so today we're going to talk about not just how Daniel makes money without a job and how I make money without a job, but also how friends of ours and people we know make money in dozens of other ways without having a quote-unquote job. Job being defined as someone who works for a company, has a W-2, your employee. Now, because we're not saying, hey, make money doing nothing. Obviously, that would be stupid, unless you're invested well enough somewhere and you don't have to do anything anymore. But that's not what we're saying here.
Yeah, we're not saying make money without working. We're just saying make money without... kind of like not having a boss.
Yeah, not
be your
working,
own boss.
Yeah, be your own boss. Not you're not working a traditional job, or maybe it's like it could even be a side hustle that makes you a few $100 a month or a few thousand a month just on the side, and people are doing that all the time everywhere. So that's not like a pie in the sky kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people. There's so many people that have found, especially I think recently with all the tools that we have available to us with technology and the internet and everything else, that I think it's probably easier than ever to build your own business right now than any time in human history.
Oh yeah, the systems and everything that's in place. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting involved and knowing the process and then just doing it and not stopping. Yeah.
I think that's the key right there, right? And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves in the conversation, but I think that's the key. Is it's one thing to want it, but it's another thing to educate yourself on how to do it.
Yeah,
read the right books or put in the right amount of effort.
Take the online course.
Yeah,
that teaches how to do it.
Yeah, and I'll use an example. I've told you about my friend Caleb. He's starting Sunset Cove Builds and Sunset Cove Boards. They're in Atlanta. He does a lot of woodworking, and he's got his 9-to-5 job. He's actually somebody that has a lot of responsibility at his job. He's a high level executive, but he likes to do woodworking, and
so it's a hobby.
Yeah, it started out as a hobby. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He likes.
He's like, I'm an executive. I'm an executive. I do this, but I really like woodworking.
Yeah.
So now he's exploring doing that for money, sort of, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. It started out as a hobby. Like he just recently made me a really cool cutting board. I'll have to show you pictures of it. Okay. And he's making cutting boards, and he makes furniture and stuff like that. It's what he loves. It's what he's passionate about. But he realized that in order to make this business grow or to develop an audience, he's going to have to do some marketing on social media. Well, in order to do effective marketing on social media, you got to have at least a decent following. And so he's gone in and done tons of research on how to build a following on social media. The things that you do to get maybe a little viral clip. Right now, the reels are popular. Kind of like TikTok.
Get one to go viral.
Reels. Yeah, get one to go viral. Get a lot of views on it. He didn't just start making videos and going, man, I hope this works out. He went in and did the research. What is working for people? He talked to people, and he's found some success with it. Cool. And admittedly, he doesn't like that social media part of it.
Yeah.
But it's, probably 50% of the work that he's doing right now. He's probably doing 50% woodworking, 50% this. If I were to get, Caleb might have a different ratio, but he knows that the social media is a necessary evil if he wants to build his brand.
And that's anybody who has a hobby or a passion they want to turn into money, like a business. Like what you know how to do or you like talking about or doing, that's half of it if you're trying to make money. The other half is business and marketing. Mm-hmm. Keeping fucking receipts and tracking things so the government doesn't come after you at the end of the year with taxes and having a CPA and all these things. Mm-hmm. and like you said, marketing, like social media marketing, like nothing makes me want to grab my pistol and put it to my temple faster than going, you need to learn how to do social media marketing.
Right.
I'm like, no, I want to pay someone who's not going to rip me off to do it. And it's pretty hard to find people who know how to do it who won't rip you off, I found. I mean, not that they're unethical, but there's such a wide gap of, we can't guarantee this will work on social media because of algorithms or how many people actually see it based on what Google or Facebook does or doesn't do. And, you can drop a lot of money in social media marketing and get zero return. I've been told it's more of a long-term game. So that told me years ago, oh, I need a long-term large budget to make this go anywhere because it's not an overnight game. Social media is more of a long-term game. And so that's what I've been told by some. It might be different for others. But yeah, my whole point was he might like woodworking, but if he wants to actually make money doing it, there's that business side, there's that marketing side,
right?
Which that can drive a lot of people to hate what they actually loved doing because now to do it, they have all this other shit they have to do that you don't like. I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
So find other people to do it for you, but sometimes that takes money that you might not have in the beginning.
Sure.
So I mean, there's no yellow brick road all the way to somewhere. But there is like a silver brick road where you can get 80% of the way and go, okay, I'm going to have to strategize and adapt here, but I can make this work.
Yeah, there's some best practices. But to your point, though, I don't think a lot of people are putting that much thought into it, right? There's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm going to be the next whatever fitness influencer. I'm going to make a channel on underwater basket weaving or whatever, and then they just make a few posts and they only get a few likes, and then they go, oh, well, I guess that's not going to work out for me, instead of doing the type of thinking that you're talking about and the type of work that you've described that you've put in, and the work that I know that Caleb's putting in, and
it's
and
business,
the other people, the mindset of, I don't know everything. There's certain aspects of this that I don't particularly enjoy, but I need to go educate myself on them and execute and do these things anyway so that I can do the thing that I love. Yeah. In Caleb's case, woodworking. In your case, public speaking. I can enjoy those moments because I took care of these things.
And you know what? You might not like those things you have to do. You might hate every fucking day of your life for like a year doing these things to get your thing that you do love to where you can start doing it more.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes there's a trade-off. I mean, I love getting online, doing videos in this studio here and talking about stuff I enjoy and I know a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, with like my Use Your Story program, where I'm teaching other trauma survivors like myself how to make a side income and an impact in people's lives through public speaking. How do you share your story?
Yeah.
It's because, well, that's me. That's what I've been doing for 15 years.
Sure.
And getting on camera and talking is no big deal because I like it. And I've done it so much. So, I mean, somebody might be there because they've worked in a media company for 15 years or something and go, hey, I'm used to being in front of a camera, but I've never talked about me. And now it's an easier shift than somebody maybe who, they've never talked in front of an audience or a camera, and they're kind of timid. Both those people can grow into this and succeed.
Yeah.
They just might enter the game at different points.
Yeah.
And with different skill sets. Or the person might be good on camera, but the more quiet person who's going, I don't know if I'm good on camera, they might just be great at marketing. And so that's going to take them further than the person who's ambitious but has no marketing acumen.
Exactly.
So, I mean, everyone just kind of comes in different, but
also all the like those shortfalls that you're describing in those hypothetical scenarios, those shortfalls can be overcome.
Oh,
those people just need to go and educate themselves on these things they don't know about. That's half the battle. And then there's another aspect to it too, because as you know, and we talked when we met, I was running an online music store. Yeah. And I had my own line of guitar tuners, guitar effects pedals, straps, things like that.
So guitars and guitar accessories.
Yeah.
As King of the Hill might say.
Yeah, exactly. I was building a brand, right? I had, great logo and everything. And I was successful. I was, fielding about 40 orders a day. every day through Amazon and my own website. Money was rolling in. Everything was going great, right? My business was building.
You had incoming business. Every day you wake up, you had more orders you had to ship and fulfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're making money. So money's coming to you.
It was going great. However, I saw where that was headed. I saw what is my life going to look like. I knew exactly how to grow it. I saw what was working. I saw exactly where what my everyday life was going to look like if I grew this the way that I knew that I could. And I decided that I'm not willing to live that. I don't want to be that guy. That's not the life that I've imagined for myself.
I remember how you said it. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember the way you said this to me when you were deciding to make this transition.
Yeah.
You said, man, when I think about the rest of my life, I don't want the rest of my life to consist of having to go to the post office with 50 envelopes every day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the lifestyle I want.
Or even worse, I'm running a warehouse. I'm like a warehouse manager. I've got employees doing all the work, but now I got to manage.
Now I got to manage people.
Employees, and I'm just a warehouse. I'm a glorified warehouse manager.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's
it's a lot of
work.
It's too. A lot though.
Yeah, it's just not what I envisioned for myself. I'd rather,
Now you were looking more at daily lifestyle quality. I don't want to be doing that the rest of my life. So why build something I know is going to grow into this monster I'm going to hate? The more it grows, the more you hate life.
Yeah.
That's backwards. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know? It's like...
And that's so true. I think maybe I told you this too. Now the wheels are turning. I'm remembering. I used to do things like hinder my advertising. I used to go, man, turn that down because I don't want to ship all those orders tomorrow.
Yeah. But you're sacrificing money. So you were literally cutting your own legs out of your own business because you hated the process every day that you had to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, if you wake up and your side hustle is growing and you're going, damn it, my business is growing, I better turn that off. You're probably not doing the right thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you should probably explore something else.
Yeah, no, that's true. But you know what saved me from that, though, and it gave me the freedom to make that decision to walk away from it is, and you hear, this isn't by any means a new idea. You hear a lot of successful entrepreneurs preaching this, is don't rely on one income stream. If that was the only way I was able to feed my family, then I would have been stuck. Like, well, I guess I'm building this thing and I'm going to do some stuff I hate. But I had other income streams at the time, and I was able to redirect my attention on a few of those.
Because you'd be handcuffed. Yeah, you'd be handcuffed to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be someone else's company that you're working a job for that you're not handcuffed to the tech company you work for. Mm. You're handcuffed to your own house. You're handcuffed to your own business.
Yeah. Even worse.
You created this prison cell.
Yeah.
And now you're like, I can't get out. It's like, well, why'd you build it?
Yeah.
But no one thinks of an exit strategy when they get into a business. If you have some good business acumen and experience, you will. But if you're brand new, you're just starting out, maybe you've never had one, or you're just looking to make a few hundred, couple thousand extra a month, that I think, at least for me when I was starting out, the biggest thing I'll think about is, like, if I can get to this number monthly, I don't give a shit what I have to do.
Yeah.
Because you look at what all that money makes possible. But then when you get there, when you get there, you start going, man, like for me, it was like in public speaking, there's a lot of glory associated with public speaking, being a professional speaker, traveling the country all over, speaking, getting paid great amounts of money to give a 30 or 60-minute speech. Then there's book sales and program sales, there's a lot of that. But I hate living in airports and hotel rooms.
Yeah, me too.
Flight delays, idiots on airplanes, idiots at hotels. One of those things is great, don't get me wrong. For the time invested, that's a great payday. And if you have like 5 or 6 or 10 of those or more a month, that's a good month in money.
Sure.
But you know what? Out of 30 days, in a month like that, I could have been gone 22 of them. Because one event if one event that can actually be a 3-day, 3 days gone from the time I leave my house, go to the event, do the event, and get home, I could leave on like a Monday morning and be back on Wednesday night. So I haven't seen, between Sunday and Thursday, Sunday to Thursday, I didn't see my kids or my wife.
Yeah.
Hey, good business. Yeah. But at what expense? And if I do that every week for 4 or 8 weeks for 2 or 3 months in a row, I've seen my kids, 15 days out of 90.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, maybe you're into that. Maybe that's okay. I didn't like it when I would come home and my son looked taller and my daughter did too. And there one time I remember, it was about this time of year and Veterans Day, super busy month. They looked taller and their voices sounded just a bit different.
Yeah, kids change quick.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy crap, my kids' voices sound different. Like, and it was like a tour. I was home maybe 4 or 5 days in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but like that was a lot. And it's like when I got into, as I've been in public speaking, all the older guys that I've learned from, most of them, if they say they have a regret, what they'll question, hey, if you could go back and do it all over again, what would you do? Would you do different? I remember John Maxwell always saying, I think it was John Maxwell or Jim Rohn, one of those guys. He said, if I can be home in bed every night, I can get home to be in my own bed, I'll do it, even if it means taking a red-eye flight, because it gets me more time with my family. Most people that are professional speakers who do it full time, like I do, they have said, I've heard over and over again, like, I wish I would have not gone on the road so much when my kids were young, because now I can't get that time back.
Right.
And I decided early on, like, that's a hard balance, because you look at the money. If you come from a poor place like I did growing up, you never want to be there again. So there's that fear of scarcity and not having enough money or turning away business.
Yep.
But I looked ahead and said, in 30, 40 years, I don't want to look back and like not know my kids.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it all really boils down to, that's a great point, is it all really boils down to when you're shooting for, success or building your own business, you also should really examine what are you willing to do, because pretty much everybody can do anything. It just boils down to how much are you willing to take to get there. And I've hit that roadblock before too, or that fork in the road where it was like, okay, not just with my online business, just several times in life, it's like, okay, I could go this way and I'm going to make a ton of freaking money, but these are the things that I got to do to make that money.
Yeah. These are the sacrifices. These are the things I'm going to have to do, whether it's time away from your family or, 15-hour days doing a particular thing you hate doing.
Exactly.
Like, I'll do that for 5 or 6 years. Like, you're going to want to blow your fucking brains out at the end of that, halfway through.
Or then the other fork is like, I could go this way. It's significantly less money, but I'm going to be significantly happier with staying true to myself and the amount of work that I'm putting in, and
quality
the time
of life
that I'm spending with my family. And I've often taken that route, and I don't regret those decisions. I've also taken the other route, and I do regret those. I mean, I made great money, but I regret those decisions.
Well, there's always more money out there. Like there's not more of your kids and time with your kids out there.
Yeah.
There's always more money. There's a billion ways to make money.
Yeah, there's one thing you can't get.
A lot of people only train one way to make money, so they think, well, gosh, that's the only way I can make money. It's like, no, you're probably like one degree, just one small deviation degree of like a very profitable side income that can really change your quality of life.
Yeah.
I mean, if, like I said at lunch today, if the average person working their job, maybe making 50, 60 grand a year, if they were to be able to make like a passive income or an additional income that is it doesn't take a lot of their time, but if they could make an extra $500 a month that didn't take a whole lot of time, or once they set it up, it didn't take any time, once they had it up and running, that would change most people's qualities of life. Mm-hmm. Like, here's an example. We had talked about, there's this friend I have, Lane, and he has multiple sources of online business. But one of the things, there's this particular website, marketing engine. It's your website, hosts your podcast, everything you need for your marketing, your email marketing, all kinds of stuff, coaching programs. You pay like one fee, it's a couple $100 a month. Some people that's a lot, but not when you look at what you're going to pay for all that stuff and what you can make because of it. Well, this particular program has an affiliate program. And it's like, hey, if you for every person you refer and they sign up and become a paying monthly member, basically business owners or businesses, we'll pay you $60 a month every month as a commission for each person you get signed up through your link. And as long as they're a paying customer, you'll get paid that $60 every single month.
Yeah.
So he went out and he made like 100, 150 videos. This is why I love this platform. Here's how you do this. Tutorials. Here's how you do that. Making free content. Free content. And he'd say something like, "Oh, by the way, if you want a free 30-minute coaching session with me for how you can make your first $500 online, click the link below in the YouTube video, the pinned comment. Click there." So he could schedule that. He could get coaching clients that way. But also so he'd get a coaching fee, and they get on his email list, which is very, very powerful in business. But he would also, if he would never push it on them, but hey, this is the company I use for all this. They sign up through his link, and so not only does he have like his Amazon affiliate sales, that he's recommending products that are relevant and helpful for the business people that are trying to start an online business, like this microphone, this piece, this tube right here, this stand, the cloud lifter, this right here, the audio interface. I bought all this through his affiliate link because I wanted to buy them anyway.
Cool.
So Amazon, their thing wasn't a very huge commission, but he still made money on it. But when he signed up, well, last time I talked to him, he had like I think over 100 people that signed up for that website program to help market their business. Well, you're getting $60 each person, and he had over 100 at that point, which was probably a year ago. And now he has like probably 100 more videos, and he's probably getting even more people. I don't know. I can't quote his numbers, but he has a video out there that he did like a year and a half ago where he literally said, "Here's what I'm making. Here's what I made this month from Amazon affiliate, from this particular website, through their affiliate program, through referring people." The biggest, he was at that point, he was making like $6,000 a month recurring.
Yeah.
And as long as they stay a part of that program, they're putting in their business stuff, and it's helping them grow and build their business and make more money. They have great customer service. You would never want to leave.
Yeah.
And so now it's he had like 8 or 9 different like passive income streams he had built. Well, the one through that website platform, the marketing platform, that was like the biggest one, head and shoulders above the rest. And like a year and a half ago, it was, and I wouldn't be quoting numbers, except he put these in his video and said, "Here's what I made in whatever month of whatever year." But that was back then. Well, how much freedom do you think he has now to go, oh, I'll tell you what he did. You know how much freedom he had? He lived in near Knoxville, Tennessee. And about a month ago, he looked at his wife and said, "We really love Florida and we hate winters in Tennessee. Like, it's beautiful, but I hate cold, gray weather." And they had just gone on vacation down to somewhere in the panhandle of Florida. He goes, basically, "Honey, do you want to move to Florida?" She goes, "That'd be cool." Here's what he did. He has a video out there. And he talks about it. In 7 days, he listed his house, packed all their shit, put a down payment on a lease at a new place in Florida, right before his kids all 4 daughters, I think 4 daughters, were about to start school, because it was right before school started.
Yeah.
In 7 days, went from, "Hey, how would you like to move?" to they're moved into the new place in Florida, and they're now living in the place they absolutely love. They're right near the beach. Like, they just love it. He did all that in 7 days.
Yeah. You can't do that if you got a W-2 job.
No.
Yeah.
And he's like, in his whole video, his point was, how was I able to do that? Because I have an online business that gives me that freedom.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't touch anything in his business for like the month, like even just the website affiliate commissions alone, those aren't going away because he's packing boxes and moving rather than going into an office or managing people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this guy, I like the way he's doing this. Like, that's a good way to make money.
Well, and also it's not like he got lucky, right? He didn't.
No.
He earned that freedom because it's not like he just went and said, "Oh, there's this affiliate thing. I'm going to email a few links to my friends and call it a day." He went and made all those videos.
He made like 100 or 200 videos on this one program and said, "Hey, here's my affiliate link."
Yeah.
Well, now, who do you when people are trying to do something, who do you think they think of?
Right.
When they want to like figure out how to do this, plus they like him because they've gotten to know him through the videos. So what he did was, he knew what he wanted. He wanted that freedom. He found a program that was his affiliate program was powerful enough that paid enough per sign up recurring that would provide him that. And now it was like, all right, I want to hit this many affiliates by this date and that date. He just kept cranking content, and he wasn't where he wanted to be in the first probably 3 to 5 months, but he was doing a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there were increments where they would jump and grow and jump, and then, as you grow and do more, it usually hit a point where something's growing on its own.
Sure.
And so now, I would imagine people are finding videos, and he's not even trying to get them to find them, and some go viral, some don't. You never know which one it's going to be.
But you just got to keep going.
Yeah, you piss enough people off, they start arguing in the comment section. YouTube goes, this is important, and shows it to more people. And then your business grows because of that. So, haters are growing your business.
That's one of the reasons I say at the end of our podcast a lot, I'll say, even if you disagree with what we're talking about, go ahead and make a comment, right? Because it does help, right?
If you really want to punish us, just shut up and don't disagree publicly with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I like.
So that was called affiliate marketing. That's just, I'm sorry. And that's what's known as affiliate marketing.
Gotcha.
So, in case you want to look it up. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, I see what you're saying, though. That's one of the many ways that the regular everyday person, they can go educate themselves on affiliate marketing.
Well, can you pick a program or a business out there that you like what they do, or a software program or something you use already, and they have an affiliate program? Can you just make a bunch of YouTube videos about how great it is and how to use it and this and that, and then in the video say something like, oh, by the way, if you want to try this out, there's a 30-day free trial. Click my link. It helps me out. It'll get you this 30-day free trial if you click my link. It's because a lot of times businesses or companies will give affiliates deals they can give away that no one else can get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, try it for 30 days free. If you don't like it, just cancel it. They're not going to take your money, and usually they won't.
Sure.
So it's a low barrier to entry. You could do this with pet supplies, pet toys, anything.
Yeah.
And if you can hold your phone up and do a video, and then click upload, and just put a link in the pinned comment, and tell people, hey, click on that. Do that a few hundred times for videos.
Yeah. Well, no, a few hundred times. I think that's the key word in your message, though, because I think a lot of people, maybe more so young people these days, think that you just got to make 2 or 3 videos and maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe one of them will go viral. That's not how it works. You've got to make. I mean, we were talking about this at lunch too, and we've heard this. We've both separately heard this number from experts on the topic. You got to make at least 100 videos on YouTube
to start getting noticed by YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. So the first 100, don't worry about it. Not very many people are watching them anyway. Just do the work.
Yeah, and you'll get better with every video. If you suck in video 1, who cares? Leave it up.
Yeah.
If you've got the content you're teaching there, and you've got your affiliate link for whatever it is, especially if it's a recurring affiliate program, that's where the real power is. It's enough per sign up, and it's recurring monthly if it's some sort of subscription program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, there's so many different examples that we can use. I'll use myself as an example again, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I had a 450 credit score, was in debt.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it takes effort to get that low.
It's all your privilege, man.
That's what
it's
it
your
must
privilege.
have been. Yeah, it
yeah.
must have been it.
Yeah, you start from the top. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had, 450 credit score, was in debt, was working for the man. I was working for a corporation. Didn't really like my job. Was broke. And my wife and I, we were newly married at the time, decided that we wanted to buy a house for ourselves. And that was ridiculous because of my credit score.
Yeah,
right?
good luck getting a loan. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we decided to commit ourselves to it. So we went and moved ourselves into a 500 square foot apartment, paying, I think our rent was $550 a month. We could afford much more. I was making more, we were both making more money to afford more, but that wasn't the point. We made that sacrifice. We lived there for 3 years, and we were saving money, and we were paying off debt and putting ourselves in a better financial position to buy a house for ourselves. And as you know, that has catapulted me. I own several properties that I rent out now, and my credit score is much higher, and I have I don't have a negative net worth anymore. I have a much higher net worth now.
It's good for a net worth not to be negative.
Yeah, it's higher than I ever dreamed that it would be now.
Yeah, look at all the assets you own. Like, it's just a natural byproduct.
Yeah, and it was. But I say all that to say that it took me that took 10 years, right, to get to where I am today, which I'm also not exactly where I want to be. I haven't met all my goals, but I've come a long way. And my point to anybody, the message that I want to give to anybody is that those 10 years were going to pass anyway.
Yeah.
Today would be today regardless. And where I was back then, I can't change that. It's the little things that you do, the little efforts, the little sacrifices that you make day in and day out, that is going to put you in a better position 10 years from now, because again, the time's going to pass anyway. So just, it really boils down to good daily decisions, putting in effort, putting in hard work, and the time's going to pass anyway. So just do it.
I mean, you started with the house you lived in, and and then you got this idea, hey, I could rent this house out, go get another one, and the rent from this house will help me pay for the next house I'll live in. And once this one's paid off, the value's still going to go up, generally, and someone else is paying the mortgage note. And any difference between the mortgage amount and the rental amount they're paying me is money in my pocket to either save up and reinvest, or maybe, hey, that's a car payment. Or, I wouldn't use it for that because cars don't make you any money. That's just my thing. I don't do car payments. Like, I just don't. Like, that's just me personally. But I could put that $200 or $300 or $500, whatever it is, into something, whether it's a savings account, so I can go put another down payment, like you would say, on another house, or into some other, maybe an online business thing where like it's a lower overhead.
Sure.
But hey, instead of going and buying a house with that extra $300-$400 a month, you can go, I want to buy one of those Canon DSLR cameras that's sitting right there. These lights, you can't see the one above us. This microphone, which is about $500-$600, the whole setup, but it's good. The audio interface, everything. I'm going to do an online videos, and they're going to look professional, and they're going to be high quality, and I'm going to teach something people want to pay for. Well, maybe if you just have one house that you're renting out and it's making you $300 a month, well, over a year, that's what, $3,600 a year of money you can put into something that can make you more money.
Yeah.
And so, that's how you build wealth, by the way. It's you take money and you put it in things that will make you money while you're not working.
Yeah. And that's actually only one of the ways that you make money in real estate, because the value of the house continues to rise. So, if I bought it for $250,000 and later on it's worth $400,000, that's another $150,000 that I got because time passed by. The time was going to pass anyway.
And don't overlook what Daniel just said. So if in 27, like it's 2022 right now, let's say in 2018 you bought a house for $250,000. In this area, I think this actually has happened. Now that house would be about what, $400,000?
At least.
So you're talking $150,000 to $200,000 more that same house is worth. So if you had one in that position right now, which I think in our talking you've had similar situations happen, without going into your details.
I don't mind going into details. We could do a case study on a house,
Well, like if you bought one in 2018 for $250,000, and then in 2022 it's worth $350,000. That value went up without you doing anything. If you sold the property, you would not only make back the money you put into it, but the $100,000 on top that it's now worth more than you originally bought. So literally, it's like a $100,000 paycheck overnight in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
And that's not bullshit. There's no smoke and mirrors with that. It's like, no, it was worth this much, and then I held on to it for 5 or 6 years, and now it's worth this much. So all this extra margin, equity is what it's called. Now I just scoop that off the top, and now I have the money plus however much more it's worth, and now I can go, put it in another property or get my dream house.
Borrow against it and buy another property with that borrowing power, or sell it, put that money in your pocket, or.
But that was like it wasn't money overnight, but it's like money.
It becomes liquid overnight when you sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But that was $100
growing
grand
every
you didn't
day.
have to work for. Like once you just own the damn thing,
Yeah.
you just kind of wait.
Yeah, and we were talking about this exactly. You're waiting, and while you're waiting, you're making money while you sleep because you know,
or doing anything else. Because well, okay, I gotta tell that story. We were at lunch today before coming in here to the studio, and we were talking about this topic, and I was talking about how the other day I was like, yeah, we made money while we were sleeping or on vacation. Well, the other day my phone also dinged, and I told Daniel, dude, you don't just make money while you sleep anymore. Like the bullshit in the 90s, nobody believed, make money while you sleep. Well, I made money while I was having sex. So why I didn't know my phone was going off. And afterwards, I'm like, oh, hey, honey, we made money.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid to fuck.
Paid to get laid. Paid while getting laid. I mean, it's like you can make money while you sleep or while you're having sex or while you're on vacation. There are ways to have income streams, money coming into you while you're not out working for it.
Yeah.
And it might be $30, it might be $300 or $3,000. Like it depends on what it is and how long you've been in it and what the. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you're getting paid every month on every one of your houses. Like you don't have to do anything except just if. I mean, imagine if something goes at this point. If something goes wrong, you got to fix it, or if there's an issue with a tenant, you got to address it. But I mean, that beats 12 hours a day to 9 to 5 working for someone you hate and being just over broke and having zero net worth.
It does. It does beat that. Yeah. I mean, we've got time to do this podcast today. It's Wednesday afternoon. It's Wednesday at 2:00 in the afternoon. We wouldn't be able to do this if we were. So I think it's really the difference of selling your time for money. If you got a job, you're selling your time for money. You're saying, okay, I'm going to be at this desk or working on this thing from this time in the morning to this time in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, or whatever your schedule is. I'm going to give you my time and you're going to give me your money is the deal you have with your employer.
Yep.
As opposed to what you're explaining is more passive income where you build systems, whether it's in real estate, affiliate marketing, courses that you sell. There's a number of different ways to build systems that will earn you money because you've already put the effort in once, and that's all the effort that was needed. And now you just got to maintain. You've got this product that's out there paying you, and you just maintain it, whether it's managing tenants or responding to emails.
Oh, I mean, people find me online. They'll write us an email and say, hey, we'd like to have Brian come speak for our whatever event. And that might be, I mean, any legitimate speaker fee is going to be in the mid 4 figures and up starting for anyone who's an experienced speaker or somebody who has any kind of like good message that's put together well, which isn't hard to do, by the way. That's why I have Use Your Story, that program. But that's a good example. I can be on vacation. I can be doing anything and get 1 or 2 or 3 emails come in, speaking invitations. Well, each of those has a speaking honorarium, speaking fee, what they're going to willing to pay me to come speak. I did some stuff and they somehow heard about me, but I was sleeping when it came in. So really all it is working out the details and making sure I'm available and we're good with the price. And other than that, it's like, hey, send 50% down, non-refundable. So if you cancel on me, you're out 50% of the fee, because I'd done that shit before where I didn't, and we don't do that anymore. They cancel like last minute. I'm like, oh, I'm coming in 2 days, and I already bought my ticket, and you haven't paid me anything. Like, we don't do that. My point is, we get emails now that come in because people who heard me in the past, or they found me on the internet, and I go and I'll do a 30, 45-minute, 16-minute speaking engagement. Now, my thing is, I was in the military, if you don't know. I was injured by a suicide bomber in Afghanistan, had 14 months at a medical center, started speaking and talking about ways I was able to deal with a lot of the mental trauma, things like that, getting through it, getting my life back, staying married, building a business, keeping my life together. And I've had a great life since then. Well, people pay me to come talk about resilience now. So let's say someone goes, hey, I can talk about resilience for a half hour. I can put together a message. I can look up online how to put together a speech, which I would recommend useyourstory.com. But you can look up how to put together a speech, generally pretty good. I mean, if you want someone who really knows how to do it well, like come to somebody like me or someone who's been doing it a long time, not just somebody online. But my point is, you could look up any bullshit structure of how to do a speech that would probably be good enough. And like with me, I can literally call any military, Army, Air Force, Yellow Ribbon Program coordinator, or their programs they have for mental health and resilience, and say, hey, I don't know if you're ever looking for somebody to come talk to your troops about how to be more resilient because of all the struggles they have to face due to the nature of their job. But I've gone through these own things myself, and I have a talk called How to Stand Firm When Everything Around You is Blowing Up, and it teaches soldiers just like yours, how to keep going when life feels too heavy and they feel like quitting or giving up. And this could even also lead to helping less of them commit suicide, which that's another big issue that I know they're dealing with.
Did you hear that number rose recently? Remember, it was 22 a day.
Yeah, is it more?
The new number is 44 veterans commit suicide.
No fucking way.
Day. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I can't confirm it, but that's what I've been.
Holy
hearing.
Fuck. Okay, well, there was a point. Now, here's the thing. You say, okay, there was a passion thing. I want to help people like Daniel and I, military veterans, not fucking kill themselves because they don't know how to deal with life. Well, I want to go talk to those people. Well, it takes money. I have to have a business to do that long term and help more people. Well, guess what? The military has budgets. Colleges have budgets. And people deal with things that they aren't sure they know how to deal with. And so when I show up and go, hey, do you ever think about do you ever hire resilience trainers to come in and speak to help your people, whatever, overcome whatever it is they're dealing with? And then they go, wow, that'd be great. That sounds so perfect. What would that take? It's like, you just work out the budget thing or whatever. Well, now you're getting booked to speak to go, at least me, like on that topic and help people and getting paid for it. And if I go to a city, let's say I'm up in I live here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and you know how many colleges there are in Dallas-Fort Worth? There's like colleges, community colleges. Each college alone probably has 12 to 15 minimum different departments that have budgets to pay speakers.
Yeah.
So I could do like a DFW tour and sleep in my own bed every night. I don't have to fly to California. And we can work deals, or I can charge each department separately, or they can all pitch in a little bit and I get a bigger fee, but they're all pitching in less per department, so they're all winning. There's so many things, like block booking is what that's called, but I could line that up, make so much money just in delivering this 30, 45, or 60-minute speech that's helpful, that meets a need, and then raking in business. Mm-hmm. And then those people, if they like it, they talk to people who also have budgets who are like them.
Yeah.
Because they have these things called associations where everyone in one role, they all get together and talk. Well, if everyone's going, man, we need a speaker for this next thing, and this lady over here goes, you need to hire this Brian guy. Go to blownupguy.com. That's his website. And they go, wow, really? That's weird. I'm like, yeah, but it's pretty cool. And then they never forget that. So that's one way that people talk about. And then it grows. And then suddenly 3 people removed that lady talked to, and she didn't even know the person writing me the email from 6 months ago. I'm getting business now.
Those are the best referrals too, right? I mean, those are the best
strongest
leads or referrals, because they're already sold. Somebody they trust has already said, yeah, he's great.
And took a chance on me and maybe showed them the video or my website where they can see the video and go, oh, I see what I'm getting already. Mm-hmm. We want this guy.
Yeah. But you had to make the videos in order for that to be able to happen. You got to put in that work, right?
And some of those videos are from 3-4 years ago.
Sure.
And it's still out there.
You only did them once.
I'm still getting paid for it.
Yeah. You know what? Here's an idea too. That switch gears for just a second from the speaking thing. Here's an idea. Like sometimes I think in terms of, if I lost all my sources of income, and I was at risk of being homeless, and I had to come up with a lot of money at once, what would I do? And
good question.
Yeah. Here's one of the things that I don't have any experience with, but I have ideas about that I think maybe somebody else can take and run with it. Go ahead, feel free to take this idea if you think it's a good one. Go out, find a company that's doing 20 million in revenue a year. Find a company. Daniel, how do I find a company that does that? Do a little Googling around. It's pretty easy to figure out. A lot of these companies' revenue is public. So go find one that's doing 20 million in revenue a year, for example, and approach them and talk to a decision maker and say, hey, if I can give you a 10% lift in revenue this year, what's that worth to you? Would you give me a 30% cut of that? And if you can make that agreement, read every book you can on marketing, on that industry. Go and do the work. Go and read about marketing. How am I going to do this for these people? Read about their industry. Educate yourself. Do the work. Do the marketing for them. If they get a 10% lift, what's that? They went from 20 million? 22. They went to 22 million.
Yeah, so
right?
$2 million more.
You got a $2 million lift. And if you're getting 30% of that, what's 30% of 2 million?
A lot.
It's enough to keep you from being homeless, right?
Oh, well, yeah. What'd you say? 30% of 2 million? Yeah, that'd be $600,000.
$600,000
in that year.
And what did you do to earn that $600,000? You made a deal with somebody. You did a little research. You identified a company. You put some sales skills to use.
You're addressing a need they have, that because companies want to pay you to make either, like, the people who make the most money are in the company are the people who are either making the company money or saving the company money from losing money.
Yeah, they're incentivized too.
Yeah,
because every company, especially publicly traded ones, are under a lot of pressure to do better than they did last quarter. So you find somebody whose job that is, and if you don't have the sales skills to do it, read a couple books, watch a couple videos about how to sell to somebody or how to get a hold of a decision maker. It all boils down to the amount of effort you're willing to put in. If you're willing to go read 3 books on sales and then go, apply that knowledge, make that agreement with somebody, and then you're willing to read 2, 3, 4 books, watch some videos on marketing, on how you can help these people, you can make 600,000. Any monkey could go, as long as it can read and is willing to apply what they learn, can go make $600,000 quick.
Yeah, if that was the case, yeah. I think one of the things that holds people back is a lot of people were not raised to believe that's how you make money. Like how I was raised with blue collar. You go get a job at the factory or the prison.
Go work hard. You stay with them for 30 years.
30 years.
And you get a pension.
Yeah. Well, until they fire you the day before, year 29, day 364, and they go, cut, no gold watch, no pension. Yeah. Now you're old, and sadly, you have probably not a lot to show for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they say, so there's a couple like little sayings about that, right? They say that entrepreneurship is dangerous, it's risky. Well, you know what else is risky? Having 100% of your income relying on somebody that will cut you in a fucking second and have you replaced 3 days later, and they won't think twice about it. That's also risky. So
paying someone half your age, half your salary.
Yeah.
No, they just made up, 20, 30 grand a year.
Yeah, which one's more risky? You're 100% in control of your income based on your efforts, or somebody else has got you by the nutsack and they could ditch you at any given moment.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes down to like confidence in their ability to produce that. Well, that's why you want to start trying out side hustles and find things and see what's out there. Just get ideas. And there's one particular podcast, I'm not affiliated with it, but it's called Side Hustle School. Chris Gillibo, I think is his name. It's like every episode is like 9 to 12 minutes long. Some are like 4. And it's like every single day he features somebody who started a side hustle. It's basically, he talks about how to start a side hustle and make money without quitting your day job. That's like the whole premise of the show. And every day he highlights, every day for like the past 3 years now, he's on like episode 900, I think, something. There's a lot. He highlights somebody who's making real money. They didn't make $30 one time. They're making 20, 30 grand or more, sometimes a couple million, consistently by something they started on the side while they're working a day job.
That's how I started Bonsai Music Supply.
Okay.
My wife Tram and I, we both had 9 to 5 jobs, and we would come home, we'd eat dinner, we maybe watch 30 minutes of TV, and then we get to work on bonsai music supply. Sometimes we stay up till 11:30 midnight just doing bonsai stuff, and then we do it all again the next day and the next day. And what caused me to leave my 9 to 5 was when we finally reached a point where, when I was at my 9 to 5, I was like, this is costing me money. I could be doing bonsai stuff.
And making more.
Yeah.
Not dealing with people or bosses or schedules or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what my friend Caleb's doing. He's got a 9 to 5. He does it every day, but he's putting in the work. He's researching how to make videos, woodworking videos that people like. And he's seeing some success with it. He posted something yesterday that got 7,200 views in 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it wasn't because he was lucky. It's because he he's
he
done
learned
the work.
he learned how to do something, and he's applying the knowledge.
Yeah, and he makes really good. He's really good with woodworking as well. So
yeah,
if you're interested in that, go to Sunset. I don't know if he's got a website, but his Instagram is Sunset Cove Builds.
Sunset Cove Builds. Cool.
Yeah.
I love seeing artists at work. People building cool stuff that I just have no interest and no skill to do.
I'll show you the cutting board he made for me.
Yeah.
I think he mailed it. I'll be getting it. I'll probably have it by the time we meet next week.
Yeah. So I mean, on this episode, we've just talked about like a handful of ways to make money without a job. You might have to start while you have your job, which most people do, unless you're in a really good position where you don't have to for some reason. Like if you're a stay-at-home mom or a housewife, and hey, maybe your spouse makes enough money you don't have to work. Hell, you have 100% of the time to do it.
Yeah, do it at nap time. Do it, when you got some free time during the day.
Yeah, or
not to say that being a house mom is easy, because
no.
There's some say that's the hardest job in the world, but there is always going to be free
They've never
time.
fought Taliban. But hey, I digress. I'm not dissing the stay-at-home moms. Or as Bill Burr would say, have you ever been a redhead and done roofing in the summer in August? He's like, hardest job in the world. Bill Burr has a great comedy bit on that, and he's great. But yeah, no, but like if you do have extra time, like you're in such a good position if you don't have to fight for time. And I know people who they work big full-time jobs, and they'll get up like an hour early every morning. They're already getting up at 6. They get up at 5.
Yeah, make the time.
From 5 to 6, they'll make the time, and they work their way out of that thing. If you're not in that position, you have even a better opportunity. But, so the whole question today was, how do I make money without a job? And these are just a handful of ways of, probably thousands of ways to make money without a job. These are things Daniel's actually doing, I'm actually doing, and have been doing for years. And there's other things of friends, again, that we know, they're doing it different ways.
Yeah.
And they're actually making real money doing it.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I think the whole point is, we've only mentioned just a handful of things here. The point isn't Brian and I giving you your idea about what's going to help you leave your job. The idea isn't the point. The idea, in my opinion, is changing your mindset and thinking in these terms so that you can find the idea that's right for you. It's a little bit cliche at this point, but there is a great book that helps teach developing that mindset. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Killer book.
Yes, that book's the same way. It doesn't tell you what to do. It tells you how to think. And the more you're thinking in these terms, the more when you're just outside living your everyday life, if you're in that mindset, you're gonna start identifying these opportunities that either you're willing to do or you're not willing to do.
Well, and you'll see them based on how you think, because like your mind and how you think is the steering wheel of your life. You're either going left or right, which is maybe to the poorhouse or to the mansion, based on how you think. It has very little to do with, like you said earlier, anybody can pretty much learn most things.
Mm-hmm.
It's your mindset. Like one thing that comes to mind for me is a quote by Jim Rohn when he was talking about how to make money. Jim Rohn was a great business philosopher. One of the smartest guys I probably ever heard talk. Had like an 8th grade education or something. And he said, profits are better than wages. Yep. So wages, you trade your time in dollars for. You go to work for 8 hours, they pay, $12, $18, $20 an hour. Profit is, hey, I buy this hard drive here for $10 and I sell it for 20.
Yeah.
Well, if I do that 20 times this week, that may have only taken me a few hours.
Yeah.
So now, in a few hours, I've made $400 or $500 or whatever it is, instead of having to go work for $500 over the course of 40 hours this week,
Yeah.
doing something I hate. And I might be, if I do too well, I'm going to pay higher in taxes because if I'm not a business owner, I can't write things off, the expenses that allowed me to make that money, including the cost of that item. Ask your CPA for tax things. I'm not an attorney or a accountant or anything, but that's just one example of that. And so, yeah, the way you think, it does sound cliche. Oh, well, how do I get rich or how do I make more money? Change your mindset. Well, that's kind of where it starts. Because if you don't believe it's possible that you can do something, you're never going to try, and it's never going to happen because you're not going to do it.
Yeah, and don't expect that just as soon as you start trying, you're going to find success. You're going to find maybe what doesn't work, and so you can try something else. The key is really just continuing to put forth that effort until you settle into what works best for you.
Yeah, and the big thing here is this. In the marketplace, people pay money to solve problems. They pay for value in terms of solving their problems. If you look to solve people's problems or a company's problems, pick a problem that they have that you know you can solve and you're really good at.
Or that you can learn how to solve.
Or that you can learn how to solve. You can get paid money for that. Because at the end of the day, people pay money to solve problems. If I can solve your problem, and it's a big enough problem, and my price to solve it for you is justified because you hate that problem enough, or it's costing you more than you're paying me, you would probably have no problem paying me that.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of, nobody teaches you this in school, but find a problem that you know how to solve, or you can learn how to solve, and then just go out and start trying and offering to solve it, and then work the deal, which whatever, like how much are they willing to pay? What they pay the last guy or the last lady to solve that, and
And if you don't think that's true, that people pay money to solve problems,
it's the only thing they pay money for.
That's simple. Look at what you spend your money on. Every single thing that you spend your money on, you're solving a problem. Even if it's like, if I go buy, a skateboard, and they're like, well, what problem are you solving with a skateboard? I'm not bonding with my son enough. I'm not getting enough physical exercise. I'm not having enough fun, and I want to start skateboarding.
Or you've always
they're all problems.
Or you've always wanted to learn, but you don't know how. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
You have this unfulfilled desire. Well, hey, we'll sell you a skateboard for $20.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's a 20.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Now I'm not going to be bored tomorrow. That was going to be a problem. So.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, we're running out of time here, but we appreciate you guys listening. This has been. We talked about this before the podcast. This has been one of our more practical advice episodes. A lot of times we get into
real
philosophical things,
existential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're into any of that, go back and look at some of our previous episodes. But if you are a regular listener and you enjoy this sort of topic more, you enjoy the existential stuff more, give us a little feedback. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And then also, if you have a question, what's our email address?
questionsaboutlifepodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
questionsaboutLifePodcast@gmail.com. And by the way, if you've liked this episode, go click the stars, give us a rating and a review. This helps us reach more people like you. It literally takes like 3 seconds. We ask that you do that just right now. Just scroll down, click it, give it 5 stars if you think it's 5 stars.
And if you didn't like this episode, go ahead and roast us in the comments.
Yes.
Give us your best roast.
Exactly, because the algorithm will help us even more in that case.
Yeah, we'll argue with you about it in the comments.
We will argue our way to the bank with you.
Thanks for listening, guys.